The film opens with a group of people who, while climbing a mountain, suddenly fall. Next, we meet Alice, an American woman living in London with her boyfriend. Alice rarely communicates with her mother and has never met her father. After 7 years with her boyfriend, she feels that her life has become boring and that it lacks passion. One day, while heading to the office, she accidentally touches a man's hand while pressing the button for the pedestrian crossing. He is tall and attractive. Although Alice feels attracted to him, they do not exchange a single word. The man heads toward a bookstore, while Alice continues onto her office. Alice tries to concentrate on her work, but she cannot stop thinking about him. She watches him from her workplace. During lunch, she decides to go to the bookstore and follows him. After a while, the man notices her presence. There is a spark in his eyes. He hails a taxi and she follows him. Together, they head to his home, where Alice becomes intimate with him. However, upon returning home, she feels terrible for having betrayed her boyfriend. Despite her attempts not to think about him, she simply cannot help it. The next day, Alice returns to the bookstore and, by chance, discovers a book about the man's life. Upon asking about the book, the owner reveals to her that his name is Adam. He is one of the many who were involved in a climbing accident, and on that day, he saved 6 lives, for which everyone considers him a hero. Alice decides to buy the book. The next day, she shows up at Adam's house. They have a brief conversation before becoming intimate again. Alice asks him about the accident on the mountain, and Adam replies that he does not know exactly what happened. Although everything seemed to be going well, the accident happened regardless. He still has nightmares about it and confesses to her that his girlfriend was one of the victims of the disaster. When Adam becomes a little upset, Alice comforts him and decides to move in with him. Later, Alice returns to her own home, breaks up with her boyfriend, and heads toward Adam's house. However, upon arriving, an unfamiliar girl opens the door. Alice assumes that she is Adam's girlfriend and that he is being unfaithful to her. The girl introduces herself as Adam's sister, Deborah, and tells her that this is her house. Alice asks her for Adam's address. Subsequently, upon returning, Adam is at home. He begins waiting for her on a bench outside. After a while, Adam arrives and embraces her. Then, they enter the house together, holding hands. The next morning, Joanna, a journalist, arrives to interview Adam. Alice sees her and gets ready to head to the office. Later that night, Alice visits Adam at his training center, where she chats with Deborah, who was also involved in the mountain accident. Deborah suggests that Alice try climbing. She puts on her safety gear, and Adam secures his own as well, though he seems to lack confidence in his sister. Adam and Alice are content with their relationship. One day, Alice tells a friend about her romance with Adam. The friend asks her about her ex-boyfriend and whether she is satisfied in her new relationship. Alice tells her that she feels attracted to Adam and that she has already ended things with her ex-boyfriend. The friend warns her that this relationship might not last. However, Alice ignores her. After doing some shopping, Alice and her friend plan to meet up with Adam. At that moment, a thief snatches Alice's purse and flees. Alice watches as Adam begins to chase after the thief. Afterward, Adam brutally beats the thief, and Alice stops him just as he is about to seriously injure him. Adam's temper frightens his friend. Amidst the tension, Adam proposes marriage to Alice, and she accepts. The following morning, Alice receives an anonymous letter stating that she does not truly know Adam, yet is rushing into marriage. When she meets with Adam and hands him the letter, he shows no surprise. Instead, he advises her to ignore it and trust him. Finally, Alice and Adam get married in a small church. After the ceremony, Adam reveals to Alice that he lived in that small town when he was young, and he shows her his favorite spots. Then, he takes her to a statue and asks her to change her clothes. While she does so, Adam takes photos of her. Afterward, they go on a hiking trip and become intimate at a house situated amidst nature. Later, Alice receives a letter stating that marrying Adam was a mistake. She believes her ex-boyfriend is the author of the letter, so she calls him. However, his friend answers and tells her that they are now dating. Alice realizes that someone else is sending her these letters to tell her something about Adam. That night, Adam and Alice attend a party with friends. During the celebration, Deborah gives Alice a necklace as a gift. A few days later, Johanna, the journalist, calls Alice's office to inform her that, following the publication of the interview with Adam, one of the women contacted her, claiming that Adam had harassed her a few years earlier. Alarmed, Alice asks Joan for the woman's address and decides to visit her. When she arrives, the woman tells her that she met Adam at a party and that he mistreated her after taking her back to his place. She explains that, although everyone now views him as a hero, in reality, he is a villain. After hearing this, Alice becomes unsettled and begins to doubt him. Upon returning home, she finds a locked closet, and upon opening it, she discovers several letters from Adele, Adam's ex-girlfriend. In one of them, Adele mentions that she no longer wants to live with him, describing him as a strange person, and stating that she wishes to return to her husband. Adam arrives home while Alice is reading the letter. She quickly hides it, but Adam begins to suspect that something is not right. After he leaves, Alice opens the closet again, but she cannot find the key because Adam has taken it. Later, she receives a gift, and upon opening it, she finds her honeymoon dress inside. The accompanying note asks, "Does it still fit?" Alice suspects that it is Adele who is sending her the letters and decides to go to her house to speak with her. However, Adele's mother reveals that her daughter has been missing for 8 months and that neither her husband nor her friends know where she is. Alice realizes that Adam also appears in a group photo and that he has a connection to Adele. Subsequently, she recalls that Adam took a photo of Adele standing next to a statue, one that resembles the statue he had previously photographed her with. She begins to suspect that Adam may have murdered Adele. During a confrontation at home, Adam notices that Alice has been acting strangely, believing she is having an affair. Alice shares what she has discovered about Adele and asks him if he killed her. Adam replies that he hasn't killed anyone, admitting to having had a relationship with Adele, but emphasizes that now he only cares about Alice. However, she doesn't accept this and makes an excuse to go to the bathroom, but ends up leaving the house. When Adam tries to follow her, Alice hides, and once he leaves, she runs to the police station to report that her husband has murdered a woman. However, the police ask her for proof, and since she has none, they cannot help her. Adam appears at the station, claiming that his wife is missing and that they had a fight that caused her to run off. The officer tells Alice that Adam is not capable of murder. Through the glass, Alice sees him crying, although he cannot see her. Upon leaving the station, Alice, distrusting Adam, seeks help from Deborah. She confesses to her that she too has doubts about him. Deborah suspects that Adam might be responsible for the accident on the mountain, given that they use high-quality gear that isn't easily broken. Then, she accuses him of deceiving and murdering women. Alice speculates that he might have murdered Adele and buried her body beneath a statue. Afterward, they both decide to go look for the body at the statue. Meanwhile, Adam arrives at Deborah's house and finds the photo of Adele with the statue, leading him to suspect that they might have been there. He follows them. Alice and Deborah begin digging around the statue, and suddenly Alice discovers the body of a girl buried alongside a necklace similar to the one Deborah had given her as a gift. At that moment, she realizes that it wasn't Adam who killed her, it was Deborah who murdered Adele. When Alice confronts Deborah, she finally admits to killing her and being responsible for the accident involving the mountain. She declares that she had to get rid of Adam's new lover because, ever since childhood, she has been in love with him, and that no one can steal his love from her. Deborah reveals that she had an intimate encounter with Adam right in front of that very statue when they were children, and that ever since then, she has killed all of his partners. Finally, Deborah lunges to attack Alice, but Adam suddenly appears to save her. He tells Deborah that what happened in their childhood was wrong, and that he had always suspected she was the one who had killed all those people, which is why he never trusted her. Upon hearing this, Deborah attempts to attack Adam, but Alice shoots her with a flare gun, causing her immediate death. The police arrive and arrest Adam, separating the two of them. 2 years later, Alice spots Adam at the airport, but she does not dare to speak to him. She tells herself that her life could have turned out differently had she not met him that day. The movie ends. Now, watch one of these videos.